The Ghana Health Service (GHS) has acknowledged that the current weather patterns in the country pose health risks, particularly respiratory illnesses and meningitis to individuals. The Ghana Meteorological Agency forecasts very hot conditions for the upcoming months of March and April. The month of February has witnessed extremely harsh weather conditions with dryness and dust contributing to a high air quality index as reported by the Environmental Protection Agency. The GHS has in a statement issued guidelines to help individuals cope with the prevailing harsh weather conditions in the country characterized by dryness, dust and high temperatures. According to the Ghana Health Service, persons with asthma and other chronic respiratory conditions may suffer acute attacks or may experience worsening of their conditions due to the weather patterns projected by the Ghana Meteorological Agency. The service has also noted that increased dryness of the air may predispose persons and individuals to dehydration, especially among children and the elderly. In the northern part of the country, in particular, the dry and hot weather conditions can lead to an increased risk of meningitis, as evident by the reported cases of meningitis, though there are no outbreaks in the country. The Ghana Health Service is therefore recommending the following to minimize the effect of the harsh weather conditions. 1. Limit outdoor activities, especially for children and the elderly. 2. Wear face masks to reduce exposure to dust. 3. Stay hydrated by drinking a lot of water throughout the day. And finally, people living with chronic respiratory conditions like asthma should continue to take their prescribed medications. The Financial and Economic Division of the High Court in Accra has fixed April 16, 2024 to deliver judgment in the case in which absconded former Chief Executive Officer of the Microfinance and Small Loan Center, MASLOC, Sadina Christine Tamaklo Ationu, and interdicted Head of Operations, Daniel Aksim, are standing trial. This was after Daniel Aksim, the second accused person who had earlier indicated he was calling witnesses, was forced to close his defense after he was unable to convince his witnesses to testify. The former CEO of MASLOC, Mrs. Ationu Tamaklo, and Daniel Aksim have both pleaded not guilty to a combined 78 charges before the court, presided over by Justice Ifiasewa Asariboche, a justice of the Court of Appeal sitting as an additional High Court judge. The 78 counts include conspiracy to steal, stealing, causing financial loss to the state, causing loss to public property, improper payment of public funds, unauthorized commitment resulting in financial obligation for the government, money laundering, and contravention of the Public Procurement Act. Sadina Tamaklo Ationu, who is facing a trial in absentia after the court declared her absconded, was the Chief Executive Officer of MASLOC from November 2013 to January 2017. Daniel Aksim, the former Chief Operations Officer at MASLOC, was never present in court. MASLOC is a government agency set up to assist small and medium-scale businesses with low-interest loans. The court has directed both the prosecution and the defense to file their written submission by March 22nd before its judgment on April 16th. Mrs. Tamaklo, who is the first accused person, has been declared absconded by the court after failing to appear in court upon being granted permission by the court for the past 2 years and is being tried in absentia. Counts 1 to 35 are on charges of stealing and conspiracy to commit a crime, namely stealing, contrary to Sections 23(1) and 1241 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960. Counts 36 to 68 are on causing financial loss to the state, willfully causing financial loss to the state, and conspiracy to commit crime, namely willfully causing financial loss to the state, all of which are contrary to Sections 23(1) and 179A of the Criminal Offences Act 1960. Count 70 and 71 relate to causing loss to public property, contrary to Section 2 of the Public Property Protection Act 1977, SMCD 140. Furthermore, Count 72 and 73 are improper payment of public funds contrary to Section 96(1)(c) of the Public Financial Management Act 2016, Act 291. Count 74 charges the first accused, Sedina Christine Tamaklo-Ationu, with unauthorized commitment resulting in financial obligation for the government, contrary to Section 96(1) of the Public Financial Management Act 2016. Count 75 to 78 preferred charges of money laundering contrary to Section 11(c) of the Anti-Money Laundering Act 2008, Act 749, and contravention of the Public Procurement Act contrary to Section 921 and 41A of the Public Procurement Act 2003, Act 663. A delegation from the Agricultural Development Bank PLC, ADB, on Monday paid a solemn courtesy call on the management and staff of Kencity Media Limited as the Medina-based media house mourns the sad transition of its former director of radio, Mr. Martin Kwabna, popularly known as Wofa KK. 54-year-old Wofa KK died on Wednesday, February 14th at the University of Ghana Medical Center after a short illness. The delegation, which was led by Mr. Charles Amankwa, the area head of Accra, also signed the Book of Condolence opened for the late Wofa KK. In his remarks, Mr. Charles Amankwa disclosed that the sad news of his passing came as a shock to all. He said Wofa KK was a friend and a brother ever since ADB became a tenant in the Kencity building. He consoled Kencity Media and the family for the loss and pledged to be present during the one-week commemoration.
The news never out. It came as a big shock to all of us. And I very many years ago, not quite a customer. He's a very known customer at the branch. Not that Kencity in Parastate head office and so company accounts. So he's a friend, he's a brother, and also a customer. And the BBC management of the area, my name is assistant, said no, we have to come. And then says we gave prior notice to Mama. And so a buyer and everybody to commensurate with the management of and staff of this business, and also the family for this great loss. We share your pain, we share the loss in our time because he operates account with us. And so we need to also show that concern. In our tradition, it's like that. It happens. We come a bit quickly. All of us, we need to. There's a good book we should mourn with, those who mourn. And now, so 1 week, like you rightly said, on the 19th. They are making the necessary arrangements. So they are collections, donations, very easier, for you. In any head office for a Kasahiti. Namipa on the 9th will be here, to support the program. It's a big week. We all support.